Hi Dollar Divas, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm super excited because I'm going to be testing out some new Dollar Tree makeup. So yesterday I posted a Dollar Tree haul where I hauled a bunch of new makeup, mostly from LA Colors. So I'm going to be testing out some of those products today. We've got stuff from the LA Colors fall line, and they have a new like eye and lip collection. So I have quite a few new products to try today. Of course, if you're a returning Dollar Diva, thank you so much for coming back for another video. If you're new to my channel, I'm basically a bargain makeup channel. What I mean by that is I like to do a lot of the same fun content that other beauty channels do. I just like to keep it at the bargain price point, so the closer to $1, the better. So if it sounds like you're in the right place, I do hope you'll become part of our Dollar Diva family here on YouTube. As always, I'll have related videos and playlists down below in the description box. I've done a lot of videos like this, so if this is your thing, definitely go check that out after you're done watching this video. And so without any further chit chat, let's just go ahead and get into today's video. So I did my brows and cleaned them up and added eyeshadow primer. So I just used my LA Colors brow pencil as well as my BPure Hydrating Under Eye Concealer and my LA Colors eyeshadow primer. Nothing new there. So now we're gonna get right into the eyeshadow, which I'm so excited about because I did find all three of the LA Colors palettes from their fall collection. So today I'm gonna be using this whole little trio. This is in Pumpkin Spice. Of course, they have two other color stories. This one here is a really good one to get like a complete look. So I'm just gonna use that today. So I'm gonna go all in over my lid, of course, with that lightest shade there. In my experience, LA Colors shadows, especially from their collections, are always wonderful. We're just laying this down as a base for our other shadows. So in my haul video yesterday, I did have bangs. I still have my bangs. I just kind of laid them down today because they were kind of a mess. I need to wash my hair, so, but yes, I do still have the bangs. So in that haul, you'll see that at Five Below, I found these like makeup brush wipes. And I'm trying them out. They seem to work really well, actually. I used them for my concealer brush, which I thought would be not a great use for these. But it seems to be doing really well. It really does get them clean. And then I'll just take a little cloth and see. This had some dark shadow on it, and it's just about as clean as it would be if I used my brush cleaner. So really nice. So far, so good. So now I'm going to go into that darker shade there, that darker matte. We're just going to I'm going to do my typical eye look that I do. Now I'm making a mess because I go heavy-handed, as you know. That's a really nice eyeshadow. The application seems to be very, very smooth. I'm going to blend it out a bit with a fluffy brush. That's really a nice, per usual, the quality is wonderful. Nice and pigmented, very, very blendable. There we go. That's really nice so far. So now, of course, we're going to go in with that shimmer. And it's a beautiful shade. It's like a kind of a peachy gold shade. Really nice. I'm going to wipe off my flat brush on those. See, look at that. It gets all the makeup off. So I'm going to go into that shimmer shade, and then of course I'm going to spray my brush with some setting spray. And people ask me all the time what I use. I'm not brand specific. This one here is just something I found at the Dollar Tree a couple years ago from St. Ives. It's the Spritz a Little Zing. So I'm just kind of trying to use this up. I've just been kind of trying to use some up here lately. So like I said, I'm not really brand specific. I just kind of use what I have. I'm going to go in with this. That is a stunning shade. It's bright enough, and it's just got that beautiful, very subtle peach gold type of a shade. Beautiful. I would say these are the quality that we have come to know and love. That's very typical of their collections. I'm looking for the e.l.f. eyeshadow palettes that look like the e.l.f. bite-size palettes. I'm on the hunt for those, as well as like the contour kits. There we go. I think that is gorgeous. There we go. That is absolutely beautiful. And just a very easy eye look to get with these three shades. It's a complete eye look. So we'll come back and I'll end up adding some extra eyeshadow, like smoking out and stuff like that. But we're going to move on. I do have a new eyeliner to try. But first I'm just gonna add a coat of mascara and I will be right back. So I just added a coat of mascara and now I've got this LA Colors liquid liner. So they had one in black, but I just went ahead and picked up the one in brown. This is the shade Fallin for brown. And this was also part of the fall line. And I'm gonna try it out. Brown liner has really come back in here recently, both liquid and pencil. It's kind of a softer look, you know, and I thought this would be very pretty for this palette. I could personally stand for the shade to be a little bit darker, and that was kind of a concern of mine. I feel like sometimes the brown liners I get from Dollar Tree, especially the liquids, they tend to be just a little lighter than I would like. But if you buy like brown liners and you feel that they're often too dark, you might actually really like this. But like I said, it's very, very subtle. It's subtle, but it is there. But the liner itself was very easy to control. It's a little bit of a stiffer point, which sometimes can be a little difficult to use. But yeah, like I said, I think I could get used to this type of a shade, especially for like a more natural, demure look. So I'm gonna add lashes and then do my foundation, concealer, and powder, and then we'll come back and I have a new bronzer and blush to try. So I'm gonna do that off camera and I will be right back. So I'm letting my glue dry on my lashes, and I forgot that I told you the other day I was gonna test out the LA Colors liquid makeup, and I said I was gonna try it with a brush to see how it went on because I used a beauty blender last time. And so I just wanted to pop on and show you. And it's a little bit streakier with a foundation brush. It definitely goes on much smoother and nicer with a beauty blender, because I was kind of feeling the other day like maybe they changed the formula of the foundation a little bit and made it a little less streaky, but I'm kind of feeling like right now with this brush, I'm kind of just moving it across my face, like it's not sinking into my skin. Whereas with the beauty blender, it really seemed to a whole lot better. So I think my final verdict on this right here, even though they changed the color of the packaging, they have not changed the product at all. And so I forgot that I was kind of wanting to revisit that with you all, and when better than today when we're testing new makeup. I am gonna end up getting rid of the concealer. I'm not gonna be using that today. I'm gonna be using my BPure Hydrating, and then I'm just gonna be using my, see, it's finally starting to settle in a bit, and it's taking a little bit of working with, whereas with the Beauty Blender, it really went a lot quicker and a lot smoother, I feel. And as for powder, I'm just gonna be using the LA Colors pressed powder in Nude. So I just want to update you on that. I'm gonna finish up my face, add my lashes, and then I will be back testing out a new bronzer and blush. Okay, complexion is done and lashes are on, and now we're gonna do bronzer. So BColor came out with 2 liquid bronzer shades. This is Radiant Tan. I used the other shade in my last testing new Dollar Tree makeup video, which I will have down below in the description box if you want to catch that. I literally did it just a couple days ago. But yeah, this is the shade Radiant Tan, and we're gonna go in with this today. My stippling brush, and just really kind of wipe it onto this. These aren't really big cloths, and I really kind of thought they were gonna be very disappointing, but they actually do a really nice job cleaning your brushes. They got a lot more bang for their buck. So I'm gonna put some of this on the back of my hand. This does dry down pretty quick, so I'm gonna have to kind of work fast. This kind of looks like a little bit of a cooler shade. I think this is a slightly darker shade than the one I used the other day. Just really try to blend it in real nice. Yeah, I really like the shade. It does seem to be cooler than a lot of bronzers that you get, especially at Dollar Tree. These seem a little easier to work with than BPure or BColor's other liquid bronzers, the ones that are the Charlotte Tilbury dupes. Those ones are a little bit easier to kind of go crazy with. These here seem just a little bit easier to work with. And you know me, I do tend to go overboard, so like I feel like that's very, very easy to work with. I really like this shade. I think I like this shade better than the other one. It just seems a little bit more natural than most liquid bronzers. Put a little under my chin. Yeah, I really like that. Like I said, it was very, very easy to work with, and I feel we got a really nice glow. So I think like I said, I think I do like this shade better than the other shade. So this is also from the fall collection, and they had, I think, 3 different shades. I just picked up one. And this is the shade Hello, y'all. And it just seemed a little bit different. They had one that was like a pink shade, and then they had one that was like a deeper shade. It was, I can't remember if it was like more of like a peachy coral or if it was more like a like a mauve, like a deep mauve. But I thought this one here would be really nice to add to my collection. So in my experience, these tend to be very pigmented. I'm gonna really just try to not go crazy. That's a beautiful shade. It's swatched very similar to the LA Colors Creamsicle shade, that, you know, just their regular blush singles, just without the shimmer. And I love Creamsicle, that's one of my favorite blushes. There we go, I don't think I went overboard, I think I did okay. That's a gorgeous shade, especially like with this like fall makeup look. Run a little bit down. Yeah, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful shade. And of course the quality is always amazing. They're always super pigmented, super creamy. Always love the LA Colors blushes. So no surprise there. Now we're gonna go back to the eyes, and I do have a pencil liner to test. So this is their Duo eyeliner. It's in Latte Love. It has a brown side and a black side. I'm gonna use the brown side today. And my hope is that it goes into the waterline real nice. Oh, it does. It's doing a really nice job. We'll test the black side in our next video. Yeah, it's very creamy, especially to be like a pencil, like a fat pencil like this. I really didn't have super high hopes, to be honest, because, you know, LA Colors, like their auto liners are kind of hit and miss. They often do better than I think they're gonna do, but that did a really good job. It wasn't painful. It's pigmented, so excited to try the black side as well. So I'm gonna smoke out underneath. So of course, I'm gonna go into that shade right there. And again, I'm using my smudger brush, and I'm just gonna clean off the last eyeshadow that I used off of that. I'm really actually impressed with these makeup removing wipes. They're very convenient to use too, because I don't have to use this and this. I can just use this wipe, and then I'll just dry it off a little bit on my towel, and it's much easier to deal with. So I'm gonna put that color on there, tap it off, and just smoke out underneath here. Beautiful job. Now we're gonna go into the inner corner, and I think I'm actually gonna use this lighter shade right here and do like a matte inner corner highlight. And take a little tapered brush. I'm gonna pack that color on there. See if this does any brightening up. It might be just a tad too dark. Yeah, just a tad too dark for my taste. So I think I'm gonna just go ahead and go into that shimmer right there and just add a little pop of that in the inner corner. Same brush, and then I am gonna spray it. Okay, again, nothing super crazy. I wish I had a little bit of a lighter shade, but I could go get one, but I'm trying to see what we can't do with what we've got here. I'm gonna pop just a little bit of the lighter shade under my brow bone. There we go. I think the eye look came out beautiful. So now we're gonna move on to lips. And this is actually an eyeliner, but I went ahead and bought it for my lips because it's in the shade Burgundy. It's in Better Than Burgundy. This is from the eye and lip bar that they have, the new version they have out. And it's just a burgundy eyeliner, and I'm gonna use it as a lip liner. And then this is also from the fall collection. They had a bunch of lip products in both collections. I just picked up one from each. And so the lip gloss we'll be using is from the fall collection. It's in the shade Sweater Weather. So hoping for good results here. That's just not quite as pigmented as I want it to be. Burgundy would be a beautiful color eyeliner if you have green or blue eyes, or even like hazel eyes. Really makes them pop. Brown eyes can literally wear any shade of anything, but certain colors really make blue and green eyes pop. And this is one of them. I'm not super pleased with the pigmentation of it. And if it won't be super pigmented on my lips, it probably won't be in like the waterline either. I'm having to just kind of work with it a little bit too much. But now we're gonna add the gloss. This has a weird smell and taste. And I think it's intentional. I think it smells like pumpkin pie, like the pumpkin pie spice. I don't love the taste or the smell, but I always love LA Colors formula of their lip glosses. Like I've always been a fan of their lip glosses. And this is good enough color. It's come across a lot warmer, of course, in my monitor. But in person, I think the shade is even prettier. It's a little bit more subdued, like I said, than I think it's reading on camera. The taste kind of dissipates after a while. It's just silky, not sticky. Really, really not bad at all. yeah, it's not sticky. And like I said, I really like the color, especially in the mirror versus like in my monitor, and how I know it's gonna probably come across on camera. So now a quick rundown of all the new products. So just to get this one out of the way, yeah, the verdict on this is the formula has not changed, and it goes on better with a damp beauty blender than a foundation brush. So there's that. I like the shade of the BColor bronzer better than the other shade, I believe. It's very easy to work with. It's a very light effect. It's not something that you really have to be too worried about going overboard with. So yeah, really not a bad product at all. Then LA Colors blushes, of course, we know they never disappoint in their quality. And this shade here in particular is really, really nice. So that is always a winner. The lip gloss, like I said, it has a little bit of like a weird taste and smell. And I think it's pumpkin pie, but like right now, it's been on my lips for a good minute or so, and I don't taste or smell it anymore. So of course, LA Colors lip glosses are always really, really nice quality as well. And this one here is no exception. It just feels really nice on the lips. Nice little flush of color, not sticky, just really nice. Of course, the packaging is cute. This right here actually pleasantly surprised me. I used the brown in my waterline, and it really went on very, very nice. So I'm excited to use the black. This would be a great item for travel. That way you don't have to decide what shade you want to wear. You might could even in a pinch wear the brown as a brow pencil. It actually is coming across as very cool. So this one here really, really surprised me on how good it was. I really didn't have high hopes. And then the LA Colors Auto Liner in the Burgundy shade from the Ion Lip Bar. I bought it for my lips, and it wasn't the best lip pencil. And so I'm not really thinking it's gonna be a great eye pencil in your waterline. You know, and these, we know these are kind of hit or miss. I will try it as an eyeliner as well, but the purpose I bought it for as a lip liner, it wasn't as pigmented and as creamy as I wanted it to be. So this was kind of, if there was a fail in the bunch, this one here would be it. Then the liquid liner, I got the brown shade. Always at first I wish the brown was a little bit darker, but I kind of am glad that it wasn't, because sometimes there's not much of a difference between like a charcoal color of liquid liner or a brown liquid liner. Sometimes they pretty much read black. So I like that it is a lot softer of an effect. So really, really nice. Generally, LA Colors liquid liners are very nice in my opinion, especially for the price point. Then last but certainly not least, their trio in pumpkin spice. It can give you a complete eye look because you get the light shade, you get the dark, you get the two matte shades, one light, one dark, and then of course you got the shimmer. It gave us a beautiful eye look for fall. Definitely all the colors and everything are just perfect for fall. So, and the quality, of course, is typical of what we've come to know and love from LA Colors quads and little mini eyeshadow palettes and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, like I said, not a fail in the bunch. Everything was really, really nice, and I do have some more products in both lines to try here coming up. So, of course, if you enjoyed this video, show me you did by hitting the like button. Of course, hype this video as well if you feel so inclined to do so. Both of those things help me and my channel out so very much. Definitely check out related content down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.